The mold testing and remediation that we do is not too dissimilar from the asbestos testing and remediation work that we do. We don't get into an awful lot of homes that are what we would say contaminated with mold. We've had a few projects where we had one school system several years ago that actually decided to shampoo their own carpets in the middle of the summertime in a building that they then closed up until the opening of school. When they went back about a week before school to open it up and put all the furniture back in place, they had a bumper crop of mushrooms growing in the entire school. So they actually had to delay the opening of school. The kids went to school some other place for I think about 3 weeks while they actually went through the entire school. I believe they ended up tearing up all the carpeting, decontaminating the building, and then actually having to put fresh carpet down before they allowed the children to come back into the school. And that's pretty much an outlier. We've had some specific water incidents where there's either been a pipe that has burst or a flood that's gotten into a building where they actually have to go in and remediate and take the walls up 2 or 3 feet off the floor. Again, decontaminate the entire building, remove carpeting or whatever, and we provide oversight work during all those types of events where we're there to not only do testing and documentation to prove that when they've cleaned an area out, there is no more residual mold, but also to give them guidance and advice as to how to do this. Probably one of the more complex jobs we did like that, we had a hospital that actually blew a sprinkler line on the 8th floor of a building, and the water came down through all of those 8 floors, and it impacted laboratories, operating suites, patient rooms, and it was a mess. And needless to say, they couldn't have that part of the hospital not operating. So it was almost a 24/7 operation where as they were going through from the top to the bottom to remediate all of the damage that had been done, they also had us do mold testing before they would go into a room and then during the time that they were doing the remediation work, and then also do samples at the end of it to document that the levels of mold were acceptable to the same levels of mold that we were finding in outside air. So again, it's pretty much what people have for a mold situation, but we don't see buildings that have wall-to-wall mold the way it's perpetrated in the news sometimes. We trip over those every once in a while, but even if you have a part of a building where there's a humidification system that's gone amok and you can see visible mold on the walls, we're even able to work with you to help you solve those kinds of problems.